Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something pretty cool, those green and white patterns you see on some plant leaves.
Yeah, it started with a listener's note, actually, about their variegated Mexican mint.
Right, and they mentioned it's doing really well in partial shade, looks vibrant, especially after some fertilizer. Great starting point for us.
Definitely. So the mission today is to figure out why those patterns happen, the biology behind it.
Okay, let's start basic. Green parts of leaves, that's chlorophyll, right, for photosynthesis.
Exactly. That's the plant's food factory powered by sunlight.
So the white parts, what's going on there? They're obviously different.
Simple answer. They're missing the chlorophyll. That pigment just isn't present in those white cells or sections.
No chlorophyll. Huh. So they're not really pulling their weight in terms of photosynthesis in those spots.
Pretty much, yeah. They're relying on the green parts.
Okay, so how does a plant end up like that with these sort of chlorophyll-free zones? Our notes mention two possibilities.
Two main mechanisms. The first one is called chimeral variegation.
Chimeral. Sounds a bit mythical.
Hey, well, it kind of describes something made of different parts. Think of it like a genetic mix-up early in the plant's development.
A mix-up.
Yeah, a genetic mutation happens, and you end up with different types of tissue, genetically different, growing right next to each other in the same leaf.
So some tissue has the genes to make chlorophyll and some just doesn't.
Exactly. They grow side by side, creating those distinct green and white patches. It's like a mosaic within the plant itself.
Okay, that makes sense, like a happy little accident during growth. And the notes suggest this is probably what's happening with that listener's Mexican mint.
That's the likely candidate. Yes, it's quite common. But there's another way this can happen.
Right. The notes also mention pattern-gene variegation. How's that different from the chimeral thing?
Well, pattern gene is less of an accident and more programmed. It's a stable genetic trait,
Stable.
meaning it's inherited, passed down from parent plants. The plant's actual DNA has instructions, a pattern that dictates where chlorophyll should be produced and where it shouldn't.
Ah, I see. So it's not a random mutation in that specific plant, but part of its genetic blueprint.
Precisely. With chimeral, the mutation is sort of spontaneous in that individual plant or part of it. With pattern gene, it's in the genes passed down, leading to more consistent, predictable patterns usually.
So chimeral might look quite random, maybe different from leaf to leaf.
Often, yes. It can be quite irregular because it depends on how those mixed tissues happen to grow. Pattern gene variegation tends to produce, well, more of a recognizable pattern across the whole plant.
That's fascinating. Two different routes, a random cellular mix-up versus inherited instructions ending up with similar-looking results, these beautiful leaves.
It really highlights the different ways genetics can play out visually.
So for our listeners' Mexican mint, even though the notes lean towards chimeral, how could you, get a better idea?
Good question. You'd look at the consistency. Are the patterns really erratic and different on every leaf?
Uh-huh.
Or is there a general theme, like maybe white edges or spots appearing in roughly the same areas on most leaves?
Okay, so more consistency might point towards that inherited pattern gene type.
It leans that way, yes.
Yeah.
While very irregular, unique patterns on each leaf would strengthen the case for chimeral variegation. It's about observing the overall presentation on the plant.
Right. So quick recap then. Variegation, these green and white patterns, happen because white areas lack chlorophyll.
Correct.
And this lack of chlorophyll can be caused by either a genetic mutation creating mixed tissues, that's chimeral, or it's coded into the plant's inherited genes, which is pattern gene variegation.
You got it. Two fascinating genetic stories playing out in the leaves.
It really makes you look at plants differently. Okay, so here's something for you, the listener, to chew on. Think about other variegated plants you've encountered, maybe in your house or out in the garden. Look closely at the patterns. Are they super consistent across the plant? Or does each leaf seem like its own unique piece of art?
Could that observation, just looking closely, give you a clue about whether it's likely a chimeral sort of random event or an inherited pattern gene trait?
Exactly. And what other questions does this raise for you about, the incredible adaptability and the genetic diversity within the plant world? Lots to think about there. Thanks for diving deep with us today.